Okay, so let me now bring you up to speed with the state of Rajasthan, and Rahul's here so I can get his thoughts as well about the personalities. And Rajasthan is full of colourful personalities from both sides, from the Congress as well as the BJP. Let's start with Sachin Pilot, because the Pilot factor is open rebellion between Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot. They seem to have sort of papered that over in the last few months or so. Pilot is relevant in about 16 seats. Remember, he comes from the Gujar community, and they have this ongoing fight. The Jats versus the Gujars is a traditional fault line, not just in Rajasthan but in other Hindi-speaking states as well. In 16 of those seats where the Gujars are dominant, the Congress won 11 last time, and a pretty decent vote share difference as well. The BJP had only 5. The Chief Minister, Mr. Gehlot, he of course comes from the Mali community. They are spread across the state. This is Jodhpur, where the Chief Minister, he contests from Sardarpura, which is right on the outskirts of Jodhpur. But you see, the Mali community is spread across the state, but they're not dominant in any particular region or dominant in any particular part of the state. They have presence across various constituencies, across the southern part, here in the north as well. But you look at the difference. The BJP, in an election which it lost in 2018, the BJP had more seats than the Congress in the seats where the Mali community plays the swing role. And then, of course, there is Vasundhara Raje factor. Remember, they have not declared Vasundhara Raje as the chief ministerial face, and that is a bit of a pain point with her and her supporters. Last time when the Congress won the state, it had 21 out of the 38 seats where the Rajput factor, the Raje factor is important. The BJP had only 8. In fact, there were others, independent, smaller parties, who had more number of seats than the BJP. They had 9 seats as opposed to the BJP's 8. But in the election 5 years prior to that, in 2013, when Vasundhara won, look at that, all 38 seats, and this is across regions, largely in the central part of Rajasthan, but some in the north as well, all those 38 seats were swept by the BJP. So the Rajput factor is an important one in Rajasthan, but you want to weigh in on the personalities and whether, you know, the personalities, their egos have been managed by their respective parties?
Well, that's the question that one has to look at. Zakka, remember, what is Gehlot going for him? And why wasn't he then suddenly removed if Sachin Pilot brought to bear such a forceful, on-the-ground, visible campaign against his own chief minister and his government? You have to factor that in. And the basic question is that Gehlot is able to, because of his humble origins, you already invoked his caste, he's a grassroots politician that's risen with the party and carries the cadre along. So there's a huge confidence in Gehlot, which comes because of his circumstances, his social circumstances. This is not a calling card that Pilot can actually extract out of his own pocket. And the BJP very cleverly wants to make this a contest between elites and, of course, those that are from the grassroots. And this is why the Congress chooses to stick to Gehlot, because it blunts that very potent card that the Prime Minister invokes constantly about the Congress. The party of elites, it's a kind of an oligarchy of a few families that rule over everybody else.
But the same can be said about Vasundhara Raje as well.
That's
she's
true.
The Maharani, right?
That is true, and that's why perhaps this time she's not being forcefully projected, because this is where the problem. And of course, the last factor that we constantly sort of not focus on, it's an important factor, is that Gehlot did ride on anti-incumbency.
Yep.
There was a lot of baggage that Raje was carrying. There was a lot of factionalism within the BJP under her. She wasn't being able to, and there was a slogan that was coined about her, which I don't want to constantly repeat, but even the Congress cadre was targeting at her sort of elite habit, her lifestyle, etc., to bring her down a peg or two, pun intended. But the point is that really ate into the BJP, and Gehlot managed to sort of ride on that anti-incumbency. But the fact that we are not focusing on also is that when the BJP has lost in Rajasthan, it hasn't been eviscerated.
Correct.
That happens with the Congress vote quite a bit. Now, has the BJP been able to position itself as the party that can carry the state forward for another 5 years? Has it been able to make an impact with all its electioneering about the governance deficiencies that Mr. Gehlot has exhibited in the last 5 years? That's the question that we really have to focus on.